out of enough cream to do my coffee, so I got whipping cream in my coffee. Thank you, Nani.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Coffee emergency averted. What we showed you late last night was all the snow we got. It had moved east by then. It's melting. I can hear the downspout now. I'm being careful walking out here. Everything is sort of melty, but still. I don't want to fall on my backside this morning. Hi. Hi, are you that happy to see me? Good morning. Hi. Dawn's getting any of the ice chunks off the boardwalk. It's supposed to be in the 20s tonight, so if it dries out during the day, we're good, but if it dries icy, not so good. There's only one thing that has me sitting out here on the end of the boardwalk when it's 36 and breezy, and that's Gray, who has mostly forgiven me for her little vet trauma. Hey, sweet girl. Good morning. That slate over there. I'm seeing robins in the trees this morning, but nowhere near the number of yesterday when I was out there taking video and pictures. I might go out and point the camera in that direction for just a minute and see who's out there. It's, you know, obviously it's mostly robins, but are there any cedar waxwings out there today? Because it's gonna be cold tonight. Don and I are just on the road. We said yesterday we were gonna drive over to Siler City. We're actually going to check out several things in that area, and even a little beyond. We charged Jules to 90% last night, and then we got up this morning and we kicked her off to 100% because, of course, it's Saturday and there's no electrical charge penalty. We're off peak all day today, and two, you never want to leave your battery sit at 100%. So if we're going to take a trip and we want more battery than less, we'll charge to 90 or 95%, and then when we wake up in the morning, we'll kick it off to charge that last little bit. So the battery's not sitting there at 100% for hours. We think that's a decent technique for how to handle that. So anyway, I don't know exactly what the 100% was, but Dawn took a picture and I'll pop it up here and show you what it said right when it stopped charging. We're currently at 277 miles.
Yeah, it was 279.
Okay.
And the thing about it's really handy, and I'm sure that all the electric vehicle car apps in the future will have it, but it's really easy to kick off charging. I didn't have to, you know, the car was plugged in because I've been charging it to 50%, and so it was really easy just to kick it off, slide it over to 90% last night before we went to bed.
Yeah, from the couch.
Yeah, did it from the couch. Then this morning when I was making coffee, I said, oh yeah, I wanted to charge it up to 100%, so I just got my phone out, slid it over, 100%. It told me, you know, like an hour and 20 minutes, I think was the estimate. Maybe it was an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, so we planned accordingly.
Yeah,
on drinking our coffee and
reading the paper and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it was great.
So first stop is our friend's house, and that is about a 50-minute drive. After we visit with our friend, we'll drive around Siler City and do the other things we wanted to do. So yeah, it's a pretty day out there. It's sunny, it's warming up, it's drying up, it's pretty. It's a nice day for a drive. We're seeing a message we haven't seen before. USB device malfunction, center console port, unplugged device from USB port. I think we still have something in the 12 volt, but we've unplugged stuff from all the USB devices. I figure we're either going to have to reboot, or on the next drive it'll have gone away. Probably Dawn's going to reboot here while we're going down US 1 on a nice straight stretch of road. Like I said, Dawn's just going to reboot while we're on this nice straight stretch of road. Honest to goodness, you can do this. As a matter of fact, I would recommend for new Tesla owners, when you're on a nice straight stretch of road, that you do this one time just to convince yourself that you can still totally drive the car while doing it, so that if it ever happens to you, the car reboots itself while you're driving. You'll have been through it once and you won't be startled. I do this in Ruby too. Don waited for the Tesla T, There's different stuff out there about whether or not that's necessary or when it's necessary or any and all of that stuff, and I would say, you know, just hold it for the 60 to 90 seconds till it shows it doesn't hurt anything, necessary or not. And it's still rebooting. There you can see Don was in autopilot, it stayed in autopilot, it put him back in autopilot. The car drives great whether you can see the center screen or not, just FYI. And the message is gone. So probably here in a minute we're going to plug, we have several things plugged in, we're going to plug them back in one at a time and troubleshoot it some more, just because we needed something else to do while we were out here having a nice relaxing day on a drive on a sunny day. And Jules is all the way back up, everything is plugged back in, and we don't have the message anymore, fingers crossed. So we're on US 1 South, headed toward the exit for 421, which will take us up to Siler City, and then, as we discussed in the year-end video, is our general route to get to Greensboro, the back shorter way for us. So this is Highway 421 headed north, and again it goes through Siler City, and then once you're where 64 crosses, and then the next major thing is Greensboro. And you can see why we would take this road, right? Not a lot of cars, nice wide lanes, pretty countryside. I mean, there's no downside to getting on over here. The speed's what, 65 mile an hour?
Yes.
Yeah, Jules says 65 on the speed limit sign. I mean, why would you not want to come this way? This is much faster for us to get to Greensboro than going up 55 and till we get to 40.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, going back and forth to Greensboro with the boys in the van to like the Greensboro Science Center, or there's another children's museum over there, or any of the other reasons why we would have gone west on 40. I used to come in, go on 40 all the time, and I don't miss it. And it's been a long time actually since we came in on 40.
So you can tell it's happening. EV adoption. We've passed a Model S and a Model 3 out here in the middle of North Carolina.
Right. Well, also, you know, they're talking about putting a supercharger in Siler City, and you can see that Tesla drivers really are using this corridor for transportation across the state. So I would second this is a good location. Well, we already thought it was, and this even strengthens our opinion.
Yeah, then they put it inside. When they put one in Sanford, that'll be another notch up.
Yeah, I guess when we held the Triangle Tesla owners call, you know, they had sent out a survey to us. Where in North Carolina do you think superchargers should go? Don't list Boone, because we've already told Tesla.
I listed Boone.
Because of the Blue Ridge Parkway Drive, that we really need one in Boone for when we have 150 cars there once a year. So the other popular places was Sanford, which seemed to surprise Zeb, but that's because he lives northwest of us and isn't going to Sanford. And then I guess in the Emerald Isle or somewhere else along the coast. And I forget what he said the third one was, but anyway, at least one of the ones we put, Sanford, was apparently very popular with other local Tesla drivers as well.
Yep.
And this was just an impromptu survey of Triangle Tesla drivers, which tends to include the people at the coast, or, you know, is going to include people in the center of the state trying to go west, east, north, and south, because Raleigh is very centrally located. I'm not sure if the Western owners of North Carolina or the Charlotte user group, I don't know if they did an informal survey with the thought of passing stuff up or not, but you know, this doesn't mean anything. We were just curious. You know, I did that video the other day on new superchargers in North Carolina, and one thing I didn't mention, but had happened, I don't know, I guess it was, I want to say it's early 19 or late 18.
Yeah.
We had superchargers that were started, but 3 or 4 months later they weren't open, and the scoop going around the YouTube news feed for Tesla was that it was waiting on hardware.
Right, they didn't actually have the cabinets. The contractor could put the conduit in, pour the concrete, do all that, but they couldn't actually come in and wire it up because there was nothing to wire up.
Right. So Don was listening to Rob Maurer,
right.
I think yesterday or the day before's video, and he had some interesting information. I think, you know, maybe he pulled it off electric and then he embellished with his own thoughts.
Right, he did some research on it, and he basically said for the last couple years, 18 and 19 and 20, Tesla had, you know, did approximately 3,500 supercharger plugs a year for the last 3 years. So they just opened a factory in China that does only superchargers, and the annual production of superchargers is supposed to be 10,000. So Rob's thinking that that's an additional 10,000 superchargers on top of approximately 3,500 that are currently being built, and I believe they're being built in Buffalo at Giga 2, so that roughly 13,000 to 14,000 supercharger plugs should go in per year. Well, you know, there's 20,000 supercharger plugs in the U.S. I think is about
worldwide. We've got
worldwide,
20,000 superchargers worldwide now.
So you could say that if everything goes as planned, the supercharger network could double in the next couple years. And of course, now that building the superchargers and finding contractors to put them in, but I think right now, at least I believe the holdup's going to be finding landlords willing to let a supercharger come in, signing them up, the paperwork, the permit process. That's probably going to become the bottleneck, because that's what happens every time you free up, you fix one constraint, it just goes to the next constraint, to the next constraint. That's what happens. And so the next constraint's going to, and I think the landlords have always been a holdup, so that's going to be a tough nut to crack. And then the next one is, of course, the permitting, and sometimes, you know, you may want to put in a great big supercharger, but the infrastructure from the power company, they said, you know, we don't, and we're going to take our sweet time of doing it. So that could be it. So there may not double the next couple years, but I guess I'm thinking the superchargers are going to go in everywhere that everything's been kind of greased at this point. It's good to go. They're going to go in pretty quick, and then after that, maybe things will slow back down.
Yeah, at least we won't be seeing them held up due to a hardware issue again.
Right.
Well, I had not been out to our friend's house before. Don helped Janet move last year.
Year before last.
Yeah, it was just a few miles between the old house and the new house.
2 miles, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really pretty out here was what I was going to say. There's a lot of old farmhouses, and it's really pretty. Of course, I started recording right when we're not going past all the old farmhouses, but you just take my word for it. So we knew our friend lived on a gravel road. Don said not to worry about it. Jules is not that clean. We'll just take it slow. It's very pretty. Super pretty. When our friend said that her driveway was long and gravel, I asked Don, I said, is it longer than our driveway? And he said, yeah, about 4 or 5 times longer. So I knew at that point that meant really long, because our driveway is long.
Yeah.
This is just like an unpaved road, I guess.
That's her house back there.
Okay. Very pretty farmland, very rural North Carolina. We remembered the painting, the Guardian Angel treasure hunt find. Yes, and Don is remembering to remove it because you can't really drive Tesla style with the glass frame in the back.
Wouldn't be the first time I drove somewhere to give somebody something, drove home with it in the car.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about how many times that's happened.
This is Storm.
Hi, Storm. I'm told that I'm allowed to give you a cookie. Hi. Hello. Are you finishing your current mouthful? Whoa, that's my finger, but that's very gentle, buddy. Hi. Hello. Hello.
This is Opal.
Oh, wow, Dawn petting a donkey. I never thought I'd see that. For you, Janet. For you.
Headbutted me.
Hi, buddy. Now this is who? Opal?
This is Opal.
Hi. So a boy and a girl?
A boy and a girl.
All right. Opal, obviously the girl, and Storm, obviously the boy.
Oh, there's the bird
We're
feeder.
so dirty.
Oh, yeah, I heard about the weight of the bird feeder, Janet. That's the one thing where when John helped you move, he remembers the bird feeder.
I told Marianne, I said, I think that house over there is the one Janet used to
Look
live
at
in.
the
And I said, "Oh, it
water."
doesn't have an outbuilding.
Right.
And so when we went by the house with the outbuilding, I said, that's the outbuilding.
Hey,
And I
bud.
said, the reason I remember the outbuilding so well is because it had a 400-pound bird feeder in it.
So is this where Mom's house is supposed to
Mom's
go?
house should go where that horse is standing. Yeah.
Okay. Prove that there's nothing else in the bucket.
Anyway. You're upsetting Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don and I reviewed the drive we took you on in Sapphire where you went, wee, Model 3. It was so cute. So we're taking a short sightseeing tour of Siler City because there are murals here, and Janet knows how much I love murals and pictures with the Tesla, and I'm expecting Siler City as a whole is about the size of Fuquay. Maybe a little bigger, a little smaller?
Bigger.
Okay.
So you see the first one up here in this building. On the white building coming up. A few blocks up.
Oh, I do see a few blocks up, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what had us over here one day, and it was probably with Ruby and not Jules, but, you know, I'm not going to pass up a sightseeing trip to see murals. Yeah, the cute thing about this mural is there's a man's face in the shrub.
City celebrate.
Diversity. Yeah, very cool. It's kind of like Fuquay. You just cross the street. Jules is looking plenty good today, plenty good. It has a Tourette, Donnie. Can we move to Siler City? I want to move to Siler City. I'll live there. So we're out on 64 now. We're on our scouting mission for a Supercharger location. Again, this is showing up on the Tesla map as planned for second quarter. So we don't have a permitting yet, and we don't know, no details released that, you know, regular people can figure out where it is. Janet confirms that there is no sheets in Siler City. So, there's a Circle K here on the right, and I would say that that's a fairly large parking lot. Probably not, it's a bunch of trucks parked in the back. But we're coming up here to turn right down Utility Road, and that is just past the Walmart, Smithfield's, Murphy gas, the gas often associated with Walmart. And Don's pointing out to say, yes, here's where you get on 421 South. And this way, of course, is 421 North. This is the south entrance light. The next light is the north entrance light. And like literally just past there, I believe, is the Walmart. Speak up if I said anything wrong, Janet.
No, that's right. And that's for, like I say, this is kind of the main intersection that people come to Siler City to get onto 421 to go up to Greensboro. So,
or to stop and get something to eat or gas or whatever. On our way home from the zoo, it's always our stop at Smithfield's to eat. I would tell the kids, I'll feed you whatever you want at Smithfield's. Like, it's inexpensive, it's good. Don's waiting for leftovers at home. We got to stop at Smithfield's. So that was sort of our go-to place. And it's also, I'm not gonna say it's halfway to our house from the zoo, but it's something along in there.
Did they ever put them like just in empty spots like here? Like they just built this Taco Bell, but like there's all this empty land right here.
Yeah, I don't know. Normally Walmart is Electrify America, which is EV supercharging.
Okay.
But so if Electrify America came to that Walmart, that would be no shocker. But normally And this is a like they said, the Murphy Express. I wouldn't put, I mean, it looked like there was some space on the backside there for a possibility, but this is utility road, and this takes us down to the community college and the hospital. And they aren't always right at the exit, Janet. It could be a 2 or 3 mile. I mean, I don't anticipate that being the case here, but if I were scouting out locations, you know, headed toward the community hospital or the community college or the hospital, wouldn't be totally out. But one would gotta think it's got to be
right here.
Yeah, one would think that it's got to be in that Walmart Murphy Express shopping center. Oh yeah, so Central Carolina Community College is here, and Utility Drive wasn't for electrical power, it was for the wastewater treatment plant.
Yep.
I mean, I would think this is a little far off of 421, unless they just couldn't work out a different land deal. It's better when they're at gas stations because you can run in and use the restroom, and you can get something to eat or some caffeine.
That one right there is, you know, you got Walmart right there, and there's several fast food restaurants, so
yeah,
it makes sense, but I'm not sure where they would put it exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think when we go back down here, we should pull into the Walmart and just circle that parking lot a little bit more to sort of pinpoint 2 or 3 spots where it wouldn't look stupid if they put one in there.
Sounds
enough room. Yeah, I might have not been recording for a minute when I thought I was. I have Dawn going back behind the Walmart. I'm just sort of looking for like a big power transformer, you know, not a Tesla thing, but where the big power lines come into the shopping center, because, you know, you don't want to fight an uphill battle as far as where the power comes in at. Obviously, we won't be doing anything behind this Walmart. This is
tight.
Yeah, and it's sort of worse than the Walmart in Fuquay and the one in Holly Springs. It looks like you probably can still go out over there.
Okay.
I think you can. We still go behind these buildings. But yeah, obviously not back here. That was a disaster. and no extra room, and you know, it's a retention pond. It's a retention pond down there, I think.
Showing Janet parts that she's never seen.
I have never been back here. That is a true statement.
No, that's what happens with Tesla people. They just meander around.
Right. Have electric charging, you know, cheap mileage will travel. Yeah, so, you know, we came in and we went past the Smithfields. Don says there's an EV Go coming into the Smithfields that he read about.
Yeah, that has to do with the state, the Volkswagen settlement money.
I guess we could circle Murphy.
I don't know if
or not. That's okay.
Well, there's nothing down there.
Yeah, just a lot of space, so I don't know. We'll drive back up 64 in the other direction, but I can't imagine that it not being something to do with this shopping center. So Janet, when you come to Walmart for supplies, you know, if you see construction cones going up, you let us know, and I will be over here so fast it will make your head spin.
I used to know a guy on the planning board who probably knows exactly where it's going, so I could reach out to him and ask him what he knows.
Yeah, tell him, well, actually, I could send you the map where Tesla says they're coming to Siler City.
Okay.
And then there's like a user run thing where we kind of keep track of it that's in permitting, or they've broke ground, or here's exactly the shopping center it's going into, and there's no information on that yet. So it's somewhere between, it's in somebody's head that we should go to Siler City, and we've acquired the lease land agreement.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, this Circle K over here is really big, but I don't see a great, I mean, maybe out front there they could, or over here on the side they could put it in too. So that's my second guess as to where is that Circle K. And of course there's a mall over here, but this mall sort of not, is it sort of not really open anymore, Janet, or?
There are, so Tractor Supply, and there's several restaurants in there, but the Belk, there was a Belk in the middle, and it closed.
One of the Anchor clothing store. Belk is Southern. It's kind of like Macy's, but for the South, I think is how I want to describe it. And there's a shopping center over here with a Walgreens and a Food Lion. And that's pretty much your choices that are somewhat close to the 421 on and off ramps. So Well, we'll keep you posted. We'll check it out again in a couple months.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Unless we hear something
for
sooner.
updates.
Really is beautiful land out here. Our initial plan for today was to head a little farther west to Asheboro and check out the new loop around town. But that was just to get in a little bit more driving, and we thoroughly enjoyed our time with Janet, and we are headed back to Fuquay, back to the house now. So we're on 421 south, headed toward US 1 and back home. Jules has performed well today, even out in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina.
Yep.
This lane's a little wide for her. You know, I think she's trying to decide, do I follow the left line or the right line, or how do I get centered there? It was a little...
Yep, she's doing good.
She's doing good. I can't complain. I'm not complaining, but she wobbled just a little bit in the lane there, and I think when the lanes get to be, you know, 15 feet wide, she's like, well, which part of the lane am I supposed to be in?
All right, so here's the complication. So the car is right
Well,
there.
but there's no car directly coming up on our left quarter panel. So oh, Jules, we were bragging on you, and then what did you do this time? Oh, I didn't mean to save that. I was trying to hit the yield sign, the red. You've got a mess. I'm sure she told you that you went over the line.
Well, no, she wasn't going to turn.
Right. Well, she kept saying she was going to turn, but she was taking her time, and you were in jeopardy of missing the turn, so you took over.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I took over because it's like, it's either now or never, Sweet Pea.
Right. Well, there was nobody on our quarter panel. There was absolutely no car to even have to think about navigating around, so I don't know why she chose not to get over there. It's okay. That's why you pay attention when you're on autopilot.
Right.
Well, we didn't go straight to the house. I'm gonna run into the Holly Springs Walmart and get cream. And anything else I see that I want along the way?
Yep, that's right. Whatever else you think you need. Sweet Pea, cat food, sardines.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. On you!